Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome into the PHNX Sun Devil Show, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, even leave a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. I am Anthony Totri.
You are.
On this marvelous Monday by Shaun Shane Diefenbach.
Yeah, I am.
How you guys doing?
You know, buzzing.
Feeling bad?
You're feeling bad in a good way?
Like in a bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
like one of these.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like,
What do we think about him shaving?
I think he looks fantastic.
Really? I don't like it. Not that you look bad. I can't get used to it.
Little toads.
that's fair. Oh, Joe changed his profile picture.
Yeah. Little toad.
Little
Little
totes.
Little toad.
Yo, that profile picture actually goes hard.
It does. I like the old Sparky thing that he had before.
BVD.
Little Toad's BVD. What was I? I'm sure he'll comment in a second.
As always.
Oh, yeah. Something like that. Yeah, I'm feeling bad, though. In a good way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are you feeling bad?
I don't know. Shaving my face. Got a haircut. And I'm wearing this, I was going to say bad hat.
Ooh, saucy Shaun.
Bad.
Yeah, do you guys
hat.
real quick before we want to start, want to explain the hats and the shirts?
Yeah. Well, this is a Bad Birdie shirt, and this is our Bad Birdie hats.
Yeah, this is not a bad
This
birdie
is not a
shirt.
bad birdie hat, by the way.
Fantastic partnership starting at PHNX. Bad Birdie was graceful enough to send us some awesome swag. I think I look fantastic in it.
Yeah, genuinely the coolest golf apparel I've ever
Yeah, that hat
seen.
is...
This, I mean, like, you know, I saw this hat, like, once I learned this was coming, I looked on their website, saw some of the stuff, and I was like, man, I really hope I get one of those. It just says bad on it. Like, how are you supposed to not feel
Yeah, like
It doesn't even
you're
feel like
about
a golf
the
hat.
hole in one? No, it doesn't. It's like, it's a nice material. It's got this, like, flap inside. It keeps the shape.
cue the end of the Fremont shit show. We're bad bitches.
Yeah, we're bad bitches.
We're bad bitches.
I wonder what those girls are up to.
Like, today specifically, or just in life?
Just I wonder what they're doing in their life.
Probably being bad bitches.
I mean, you don't know.
Yeah.
Is that a permanent state? Like, are you always once a bad bitch, always a bad bitch?
Well, if the people want some Bad Birdie stuff, head over to the website. They're breathable. They're very.
This hat is breathable, and your hat has
Yeah.
like holes in it,
Yeah.
literal. Like,
They're practical for golfing in the Arizona heat.
Yeah.
Hot golf.
I need to go golf so bad. I know I'm gonna look so bad in a good way again.
Okay, enough with you looking bad. Let's talk about some bad football. Yeah.
Wait, I cut you off, Shane. You
Wait,
never finished.
one more thing. Oh, wait. Were you
Go
going to
ahead.
say it?
Go ahead.
Use promo code PHNX for 10% off.
Yeah, I cut Shane off before he got there.
There you
And,
go. There you go.
hey,
Joe
like you said,
Joe
get
was
the promo
ahead of the
code.
game.
Joe
knows where he's at.
baby.
Said, let's get that promo code.
They got bucket hats. I kind of want one of those things. That shit looks hard.
Bucket hats go hard as fuck.
Yeah, their stuff's nice. They
I
got
love
quarters
bucket hats.
on there. Mm-hmm.
Let's talk Arizona State football.
BadBirdieGolf.com, by the way.
There you go. There you go. Arizona State football. Let's talk a little bit.
10% off your order when you use
Goddamn.
promo code PHNX.
We've had a couple days to
Digest.
That's there you go. Great word. To let it settle a
What
little
word
bit.
were you going to use?
I don't
Marinate?
know. I was still thinking.
Marinate?
Marinate. No,
You had a
not
few
really
days to let it
marinate.
Yeah.
Settle. I'll just let it settle.
Fair enough. I guess there are options.
But like, yeah, go ahead.
What did we learn from the
Like an
ASU
Italian dressing.
Utah
Utah
game?
settle.
Um,
I guess you don't.
that this team, the coaching change didn't do a lot right now. It needs more time. That's all. I mean, we said it after the show. It just they need more time to get, acclimated with the new process, and the offense needs to work. Or the offense needs to click more to get working, because it was not working. It was not doing the thing it should be doing, which is moving the football. Stop passing as much.
Yeah. I feel like we didn't learn a whole lot.
No.
Because like we talked
Really?
about
I
after
disagree.
after the game, I feel like they overcorrected. And so once they have a more balanced offense, I feel like we'll see what they really can be. Emery wasn't good, so I guess we kind of learned that he might not be as good as we had hoped. But I also
I
don't think he
disagree
was
with
put.
that.
I don't think
disagree
he
with
was
that as
put
well.
in as much of a position to succeed as he could have been, which is what I was getting to. I don't think he was. You have to let him run too. Like, his only running can't be
But
scrambling.
so this is my biggest thing is it's like that meme where it's like, do this, wait, holy shit, stop. Like it's one of those. That's what it felt like pass, wait, hold on, relax.
Yeah.
Like they just need to find the balance, because
Yes.
same thing with Emery's running. He kept the ball once for one of the first times on a read option,
Yeah, exactly.
and it worked for 9 yards. And then they tried the same thing on the same drive, but it was so predictable that it didn't. So you have to really find the balance. Like what was happening in the first couple games, it was like 3/4 of, okay, they're pounding the ball, they're setting up the pass, setting up the RPO. Emery's going to keep one in the fourth quarter. Emery's going to keep one, and then he never kept one in the fourth quarter, or they never set up the pass, they never started passing. Now it's like okay, we still have to set up the pass, and I still want you to pass, but just don't start throwing the ball because you can throw the ball.
Don't forget who your best players are.
Don't forget who the team's identity is, and that is Xavier Valade and Daniel Ngata.
Yeah. Also learned that the return game goes stupid on this team.
Daniel Ngata goes stupid.
Well, it wasn't just Daniel Ngata. I forget who returned the other one, but there was like
Javen Jacobs.
Yeah, Javen Jacobs. Yeah, he had
also
had like a
47-yard return.
Yeah. And Isaiah Johnson is a dog. Jordan Clark is a dog.
He made a dog play.
Yeah. But yeah, Isaiah Johnson is a dog. I don't know. I feel like I learned that the defense can be pretty good, even in games where they're getting blown out. And we learned that
Did we learn that?
No, I did not learn that at all.
I feel like
that is a great way to put it. Rodrigo Diaz, Dave Ivar in the chat saying Aguano was given the keys to that Titanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is before or after it sunk.
But all you have to do is have everybody run to one side and you're fine. I don't know why they didn't do that on the Titanic. In the movie.
Not in real life.
I don't know why Rose didn't just share the fucking door. What was I going to say?
So stupid.
I also feel like we found out that the players like Aguano, like they had
some of them do.
Well, yeah, I guess we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. But like generally speaking,
let's go back to the defense. What did you see that made you think that this defense is good?
Yeah, I'm curious about
Not
that.
necessarily good, but they can be good. Like they made plays. Like I think coming from the Eastern Michigan game, it was like damn near apocalyptic. Like, oh, this rush defense is just complete Swiss cheese with all the injuries in the secondary. I wasn't sure we were going to get there, and then we got guys that played well.
The run defense, we can throw that out the window.
Well,
but in this
now
game,
we can.
Well, you could. I mean, you could just throw that whole game out the window. Something was just completely obvious.
The Eastern Michigan game?
Yeah. But in this game, they pad their way basically everywhere, and especially when they put their real running back in Tavion Thomas.
Who didn't play until the second half.
The game was over.
That's fair.
I mean, the man was what was it? The second play from scrimmage he had went for like 40 yards. But I don't think we learned anything.
The man running the ball for the majority of that game
was a backup quarterback.
Was a quarterback.
No, I know. Yeah, but like I feel like you still saw again. You got a guy like Isaiah Johnson who played really well in the opportunity he got. You saw them make. I think they had a couple of times where they either stopped them or held them to a field goal in the red zone.
The red zone defense is good.
Like they had good parts of their performance. Obviously, they were playing a significantly better team, and they ended up getting blown out. But that wasn't just because the defense was across the board terrible.
The only reason why I say I don't think we learned anything is because we know this team is bend, don't break on the defense. That's what they do, and it's stupid. I hate it, and they give up yardage and big shot plays. Or they rarely give up big shot plays, but they give up explosive plays when they can't make a tackle because they allow 8-yard out routes and they can go for 40 yards. But we know this red zone defense is good because this is what it's been in the past. It's the bend, don't break. It's, you're playing your soft zones, and they're really good at soft zones. And when your soft zone only has to cover the goal line, it's usually going to work. So I was not impressed, and I hope Donnie realizes how unimpressive this defense was, and I really hope he starts to get creative because you can't just send 4. You have to start stunning. You have to do something. Blitz your corners. Send Jordan Clark off the edge and actually have him wrap up. Like, there needs to be creativity on the defensive side of the play calling because if not, things are going to get bad real fast.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. I think you both make some interesting points. In terms of like what I learned that this team does like Coach Aguano, at least for the most part. Mm-hmm. I learned that I've seen enough of Glenn Thomas and I've seen enough of Donnie Henderson.
I don't think we have seen enough of Glenn Thomas
already.
Because
I'm done.
Okay, Glenn or Donnie, I can understand because nothing's really changed in that regard. Like it's the defense still, and the defense has looked kind of this. Like obviously the Eastern Michigan game was really bad, but they look kind of the same throughout the season. But the offense, we clearly saw that like either Glenn doesn't have any control or he hadn't had any control prior to this game and then just got let loose.
Donnie I get because it almost seems like he's kind of checked out. Like, I don't know. I hope
Glenn I have not.
Glenn
we haven't. I don't think he's gotten a fair opportunity yet.
Plus this
how where has he not gotten a fair opportunity?
Because the first 3 games he didn't get to throw the ball at all. And then this game, he only threw the ball, which makes it seem like he is not entirely responsible for what's happening.
I think
then that needs to be a conversation that Glenn needs to have.
I think against USC, you are going to see what this offense is going to look like for the rest of the year. If they do the same thing against USC, I'm with you. But until then, I just don't think he's gotten a fair shake. And I didn't think the play calling was terrible. I think a lot of what happened was there was very limited blocking for Emory Jones. He made some really poor decisions. Glenn Thomas might be in charge of who the hot route receiver is, but he's not in charge of who Emory's going to throw the ball to. And he's not in charge of how bad or good Emory is going to play.
Yep.
I think Emory did not show what Glenn Thomas is capable of. And I'm confident that, there were some bad play calls, I agree. But there's no way you can say you're completely out on him yet.
I'm out on him.
Why?
But I just don't like what he's done. I don't like what he's done.
But
And
you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
and
I see. I 100% get where you're coming from, where Herm is gone, right? The first game you throw as a chalk out. They're not trying to throw too much. They do whatever. They kick NAU's ass. They're just trying to get out of there before the storm comes. 100%. Okay, Oklahoma State, the game plan, we're going to run the ball. Hopefully it's close by the end of the game, and maybe we do something offensively there. Okay, get it. Herm still got his hand in the cookie jar. Eastern Michigan game. Just as bad as Donnie's performance on defense. Offensively, that team looked stagnant. They looked bad. They looked whatever. Regardless of who was calling the plays, at a certain point, this is Glenn's offense. Okay.
I don't think it was the first 3 weeks.
So he just has no say at all on what's happening.
I mean, it kind of, when you juxtapose those first 3 weeks to what happened against Utah, it's clear that only one of those is what, at most, only one of those is what Glenn wants from the offense. Because it's not like after week 3,
so
he's just like,
pick.
fuck it, we're only...
Take your pick.
I would rather have what happened on Monday or what happened on Saturday against Utah.
Yeah, but we can agree that wasn't good either.
No, that wasn't good either, but I feel like they had a better chance to succeed if Emory was better and the offensive line was better.
I agree, and Aguano said that today.
But I also think we need to see another week of because we also don't know that like last week was Glenn either. That could have been Aguano being like we're airing it out. Hopefully Aguano has the wherewithal to make adjustments, and now the two of them will balance this offense a little bit more. But I don't necessarily know that any of what we've seen has been entirely on Glenn.
Yeah. But we've also got to, I know we've talked a lot about, okay, Herm's got his hand in the cookie jar in terms of the offense. Okay, now Herm's gone, then Aguano's got his hand in the cookie jar all over the offense. At what point can we just maybe look at the flip side of this and say,
there's a common denominator here.
Well, or maybe it's been Glenn the whole time.
Yeah, but the reason I'm not inclined to believe that is because the offense was so different than it was the first.
You can have
week.
different game plans.
Yeah, but I don't think you get that drastic.
I mean, they're two entirely different teams. Again, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. There's a side of this where it could be Glenn Thomas the entire time.
Yeah, I'm not inclined to believe that based on how different the offense was.
And that's totally fair.
I mean, like Joe said, the coordinator's just casting checks at this point, cut them both loose. Like, yeah, I don't really think anybody on this team is probably the answer, but I'm just not at a point where I'm going to completely write them off yet.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I mean, again, they've got a lot of football games left. Unfortunately, the next two are the toughest ones that they'll have left, assuming they don't go to a bowl game, where we're at right now at 1-3 on the season. Yeah. It's not looking too good that they'll hit that 6-win threshold, but college football's crazy. The Pac-12's crazy. You never know what happens. So it is what it is. But one thing that I thought was interesting that Aguano said today was he was asked straight up about a quarterback change. As if like Emory played so poorly.
I joked about that with you in the box and be like, it's Trent Bourguet time.
Like, with all due respect, there is a clear difference in talent between Emory Jones, Paul Tyson.
Did you watch camp?
And Trenton Bourguet. So that was, I get Emory had a bad game, but quarterbacks have bad games all the time.
And also they were playing against a pretty good fucking team.
Like, no, you're not going to fucking change the quarterback.
They had the white Cam Chancellor coming at him all game.
The white Cam Chancellor. You're not, like, first off, I just don't think that was a great question. But Aguano, being the man he is, answered the question, said, no, Emory's my guy 100% of the time. Took the blame, saying, I think that maybe they tried to throw too much schematically at Emory.
I think so,
in
too.
his first game.
Again, 3 full days of practice.
Yeah.
That's all you got.
Dude, what are we going to do when they beat USC? Are we going to be like, give
Shut the fuck
Glenn
up,
a full
Shaun.
lifetime contract?
Glenn? No.
So here's a
Throw
big
for
thing.
700 yards.
I think that they will figuratively and literally get grounded this week. They need to run the ball. And against a USC team that ranks in the bottom 4 in rushing yards a game, 171 allowed a game. By the way, Colorado, guess how many rushing yards they're allowing a game?
I saw. I can't. I'm not
Shaun.
how many they're allowing? Like
Yeah.
320.
323 rushing yards.
Oh my
per
God!
game.
Really? Wow.
Why are we so
We
good,
have been
dude?
on it recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't like the high
I don't
five
either.
over the head.
That's why I try to do it like this. the
I don't
other
like
day.
this either.
What about
What if we?
low skin?
Yeah. Or why don't we just keep doing our air
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah,
Or
that
just
works
have
too.
him transfer the high five?
But
Ooh,
yeah, you run the ball.
Yeah.
And I think Glenn will know that. And again, set up the pass. You know, you can get some big shot plays here and there, but try to methodically march down the field.
Oh. And
Because the more you keep the ball out of Caleb Williams' hands, the better you will fare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
The more you
look at
don't
Oregon
let Jordan
State.
Addison catch the ball,
I mean,
the better you will fare.
Oregon State doesn't belong in this conversation because they have a defense that's a little better.
I mean,
than
but
ours.
yes, we'll obviously talk about Oregon State and our Pac-12 power rankings later in the week. But like going back and watching that game, and I watched the majority of that game, like Oregon State should have won that football game.
Yeah.
However, their quarterback decided that he wanted to give Caleb Williams, I believe, 4 more tries by throwing 4 interceptions. And I believe 2 of those came in the fourth quarter. So not great. You can't afford to give USC, like you said, any more chances than they're already going to get.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
he's gotta
we
be
saw it
better
against
than he
Oklahoma
was.
State. Look what happened against Spencer Sanders. Spencer Sanders, great quarterback. Not in the same conversation as Caleb Williams, in my personal opinion. Caleb Williams is a top 3 quarterback in the nation. In my personal opinion, probably below Bryce Young and CJ Stroud.
Jeez, I didn't realize that Emory had an 8.5 QBR in that game. Holy shit. 8.5 QBR.
You know,
Cameron
Cooper
Rising's
Rush's
95.
You know,
95.4.
Cooper Rush's QBR before the game against the Bengals was a 4.
Solid 4
Career QBR a 4.
out of 10.
Exactly.
Any way you cut it, it's not good. But before we move on, we talked about how we want to see more from Emory Jones in this offense. Specifically, I think we all want to see a little bit more of a dual threat, right? We can agree that Emory has been a little indecisive when it comes to either staying in the pocket, letting plays just carry on too long, but just not utilizing the fact that he is a talented runner as well. Where has that been?
NAU. They got left at home against NAU.
I
It's the
don't
last
know where
time
it
I saw
is.
it.
The Lumberjacks stole it. And took it
Another
back. They
thing-
took Flagstaff.
Another thing that Utah
Those
did
damn
really well
Lumberjacks.
is they were containing Emory.
Thieves.
Like they were getting to him in the pocket, but they're also containing him.
Yeah.
Like there was no sellout blitz where a hole would open up in the middle. In part because the offensive line was terrible, like really bad guys, really bad, and that can't happen again. This is a very talented Utah defense, but that cannot happen. Emory was not given enough time, and that's why I don't think he played as poorly as people think. Yes, there were some bad decisions and some bad throws and some just plain flat out missed throws, but the offensive line was not good.
No,
I mean, they should have a better chance against this USC team whose defense is not.
Yeah, but
Utah's
It's not
defense.
bad. Though.
USC
It's not
That's
bad,
a-
but it's not Utah's, I don't think.
yeah, no. The pass rush is definitely not Utah's.
Utah moving up to number 12 in the AP top 25, and then USC moving up to number 6.
So what does Marvin Lewis do?
Nothing.
Because I know he's an advisor,
He does nothing.
or a specialist. What's his role?
Advisor, I believe.
Yeah. I saw him when I was on the field during the game, I was walking from one end zone to the other, and I saw him on the phone talking. I have a theory.
Okay.
He was
Is he the leak?
he was just talking to someone. Like he wasn't talking to the box or his.
He's just talking to like a
just-
random.
just talking to his boy.
His wife called him.
Yeah.
Ask him what he wants.
Because
Yeah.
Why don't we hear from him ever? I know he's just an advisor, and that's not his role on the team. But
I don't
he's
think
not
you're really
technically even allowed
to.
to be coaching
Yeah.
players on the field.
Yeah.
So like, I don't understand his role. I don't understand Billick's role.
I don't know why they're still here.
I don't
That's a
either.
Because
good
that was
question.
for Herm Edwards.
It's all
Yeah.
just a paycheck. They're all just getting paid.
I mean, this whole Glenn is the only one that doesn't have like a.
I would like to
clear
advise
attachment.
Carter Brown.
Yeah.
You know
Can
what
we
I'd
be
say?
Kicker.
Kick the ball.
Keep doing what you're doing.
I want to be
You're
the long
amazing.
snapper analyst or advisor. Just advise the long snappers or no placeholders.
You guys do that. I'm going to be
I was a backup placeholder in modified football in middle school.
in
Fun fact.
modified football.
Yeah.
Backup.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad, dude.
I mean, I was ready.
You do that. I'm going to be the Four
Duty
Peaks
calls.
advisor and advise everybody to join us this Wednesday for our monthly Four Peaks Wednesdays. You guys can enjoy $3 kilt lifters and wow pints when you mention you're there with PHNX. You do got to be 21 or older and enjoy responsibly. Guys, we haven't done any of like our Wednesday drafts, obviously, because of the football season. I kind of want to bring back one of our drafts for Wednesday.
We're gonna have a special guest that Wednesday, so we may have to. You think we
Can we include them in the?
You think Coach Powers would do a draft?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to everybody that came out to the event.
Yo,
on
true.
Saturday.
Yeah,
That
that was a lot of
fun.
fun. A
Most
lot of
electric
fun.
Jenga game of all time.
Yeah.
We tried to play Jenga again Sunday at the Lola for the Cardinals. It just wasn't the same.
Well, it was on the ground too.
Oh,
It's got to be on.
So it wasn't an issue though for me,
yeah.
to get it. But
It was. I mean, it being on a table is part of the experience.
hey, come out
Oh, yeah,
Four
Four
Peaks
Peaks.
Wednesday. Be there or be square. Building a culture, guys, because Aguano, regardless of what everybody says about him being an interim head coach, he's all in, right?
He's built a culture before.
He has a
And
championship
it's-
culture.
and it's still there.
A championship culture. He is going to be recruiting every Friday night in Arizona. That he is here, obviously. Obviously, this week they're in LA. He'll be doing what he needs to do there. Like
Do you think recruiters have pickup lines like you would in Old
Like
Town?
go-tos. Yeah.
definitely not the ones you would have in Old Town.
You know, but
like come here often.
but yeah,
Like,
no.
No, no, like
Look what I
imagine?
saw out there, young man.
Yeah.
Just that every single
yeah,
time.
that's a good pickup line. What about I
You
like
know-
the way you play.
I think you look good in maroon and gold.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Are there
Yeah.
recruiting pickup lines that you could also use in Old Town?
Ooh, that's a fun game right now.
I'd
This could get strange, guys.
like to
Wow.
meet your parents.
Yeah,
Okay,
there you go.
yeah,
That's
there
a,
you go.
That's a great one.
There
That's
you go.
appropriate and a
Yeah,
good one.
yeah.
Oh man, this is tough.
I'm just really trying not to cross the line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's because you're there is definitely a line. I may have just given the entire list of appropriate.
What about
Want to come to my place?
No, that is now you got a grown man talking to a high school boy.
Want to come to my place of work?
That might be
that's even
worse.
worse.
Go on
Like
an
what I said
official
on
visit?
I don't think there's
Yeah,
any. Do you
yeah.
want?
There you go. I
Like-
like what I've seen on tape.
not like that,
tape?
but there's a way to
You
do
picking
that.
up? Who are you picking up? Like who's a?
Yeah, wait, hold on a second. That
There's-
does not
there's-
work.
There's high school tape.
Oh, no,
you're
that's
talking-
not. I'm talking
oh,
about
I got you, I
Scottsdale.
got
Who's-
you.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's
I
people
don't
out
know.
there.
People come from all over. you
Yeah.
know?
I like what I see.
There you go. But I definitely wouldn't use
But
that
if a
in Old
guy
Town,
came up to
though.
you and was like, "I like what you see," or a woman came up, I'd be like, "Oh." I mean, I would feel
He
so
said,
icky.
"Oh."
I'd
I
feel
mean, I also think pickup lines in general.
You got a
Nah, there's
you got a
slick
strong
pickup line.
build.
Okay.
Yeah, could you imagine you're just some 25-year-old woman just enjoying yourself? It's a guy because she's like,
Not
I
just
like,
some guy,
I like,
Shane.
I like,
Shane
I
comes
like
up
how
to
you're
you.
built.
Shane comes up to you. I like how you're built. No. So
Yeah,
building the culture.
I may have had the list.
No, never mind. I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
Okay, building a culture.
Do you think that 10 weeks is enough for him to make significant change in the locker
I like
room?
your potential. That's one.
Oh, I don't like
I would be
that.
offended
I would be
if a
so
girl
offended
came
if
up to
someone was
me
like, "I like
and
that."
said
Like if I put in a little work with you, I feel like
I
you look
like
good.
our potential. There it is.
Yeah, that's good.
That's bad.
I think we could do some great things together.
Yes.
Boom! There you go. That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's it.
From downtown Shandapan.
There you go. So is 10 weeks enough time to make significant change in the locker room?
Yes. Just because of how drastic the change should be from what it was.
Yeah, I feel like 1 week restored hope in some guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Definitely in fans.
yeah, like I feel like you saw a lot of, and just even little things like bringing back the Sun Devil walk and stuff like that. Like it's just like there's reason to believe that playing for ASU means something now, and it wasn't just kind of bigger or smaller than whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like yeah, I feel like the guys that are there, and the guys will be there next year, even if the whole coaching staff is different, they're like, there's now a little bit of a love for ASU that they didn't have prior, or might not have had prior, or maybe did have and lost sight of with Herm.
Yeah, I think emotionally too, the team looked different. And you looked on the sideline at any given point. ASU was down a lot at one point.
Yeah.
And
Daniel got his run. People got fired up for
Yeah,
that.
well,
And
even-
that game was.
Well, that was one thing I liked about the defense a lot, is that even though they might not have had an amazing game, I feel like they were still playing hard the entire game, even when they were getting blown out.
Everybody needs to have the same mentality as four. Daniel Ngata's mentality after the game was fantastic.
Yeah.
Aguano talked about that today. And like so much so that from my knowledge, I believe Ngata has won the kick return.
Oh, he has to.
Yeah.
I mean,
As I said on the
he had
show, as I've said
100-some
countless amount of
return
times, as I said on Twitter, it's electricity every time he touches the
Oh,
ball.
yeah.
he literally had
I
over-
think
he
he'll
had
definitely return one for a
triple
touchdown.
digit return yards on 3 returns.
Yeah.
Like he went stupid. I mean, him and Jacobs was electric.
But what I love to see about that you wouldn't see even a couple weeks ago when Herm was here, right, is you'd see a big kickoff return, an interception, whatever. And like players get excited, assistant coaches get excited, but Herm is very stagnant.
Next play mentality.
Yeah, it's like I've
Never too
never
high, never too
seen him
low.
smile on the field ever. And like Aguano was all over the place. This team was down 20-something at one point, and one of his guys makes a play. Like he's hyped on the sideline.
Yeah.
Like Isaiah Johnson makes a crazy tackle, but the team's down 17. He didn't give a fuck. Like
I saw two defensive coaches in the NFL over the weekend. I forget what team it was. Shoulder bump each other on the sideline.
yeah, they're excited.
That fires me up because one, your job is to coach football, and that's fucking awesome. And two, the players feed off of your energy. One thing we've talked about time and time again with not just ASU football, but also ASU basketball, is the swagger that comes out when they go on runs.
the swagger.
One big play can change the entire energy that surrounds this team. And that is what is needed to start up this team. For some damn reason, you need these special plays. And if your coach can help create that, 100% give it to me. Give it to me. You need something like that.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you got.
I mean, I already gave my piece on
Yeah,
culture and all
100%.
that.
So, I mean, then that answers my question that you want a coach on the ASU sideline that has that energy.
Yes.
Not a stagnant coach.
It's something that
I don't think
young
anybody should have
players
Well, Nick
feed off
Saban
of.
is, I feel like, a pretty stagnant
But
guy.
in-
Yeah, but he's built the reputation of that stagnant coach. You know that he's stoic, he's straight-faced. If you fuck up, he's grabbing you and he's chewing you out on the sidelines.
Yeah.
He doesn't need the energy because you're not working off of, oh, my coach is going to be proud of me. You're working off of, I better not screw this up or my coach is going to be pissed.
And
So it's fear over love. In a
Yeah,
way.
but
But but with Saban, like if you see him outside of game, like
Yeah.
the relationship he has with his players
It's
is a
fantastic.
very like father-ish in a way, but also like a friendly one.
Yeah.
Like, he has a very good like
stern-
jokes with his
he's a stern
players.
dad.
Yeah, but he jokes with his players a lot. I feel like you didn't see that with Herm. Like it was very much like Herm was always Herm.
Yeah.
And I feel like with like Saban, like you have fun, but it's like we're doing this. It's a game. We're enjoying it. But when it's game time, we lock in. Like, and that, like, if we had a coach like that, I'd be fine. I'd be fine with that too. But
You have to build the rapport to be able to do that.
yeah. You have to earn that, which I don't think Herm really did with a lot of his players. So
Yeah, I agree. I'm always here for the guys that are on the sideline, a little bit more energetic. Even when you're down, I think it shows the fans too, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot to be made over the last couple of weeks with fan attendance at games or fans leaving. And that it is what it is.
do you
but,
think
like,
Aguano, if he doesn't get the job, stays here?
at ASU?
I think so.
Yeah.
At ASU as like
Would
a
he go
coach?
back to
No,
running back
I
coach though?
disagree.
Like
Where would he go?
I think they clean house.
with Aguano though? Like
They
Aguano.
clean it, yes. That is
But
that is a
Aguano has
slap in
been
the
the
face.
best recruiter at this school. Like if Aguano's not here, I think it would be because he doesn't want to be here.
He would
because
go get a
feels-
running backs coach somewhere else. I don't think at this point it's like you were temporarily promoted, right, to a big time job. You have 10 weeks to prove yourself. If you don't,
Yeah.
we're going to demote you again.
But I mean, what if it's just offensive? What if it's the offensive coordinator? Like not necessarily all the way back down to running back because he like I said, I feel like if he's
But
gone,
then the
it's
new
not
guy's going to want to bring in his own guys. That's exactly what all coaches do. Herm did it. Like they clean house.
yeah.
Like,
But
and
I
I'm
mean,
sure that was a point of conversation that Ray's already had or that they've had. Like, there's got to be some sort of understanding here where, like, this is you're no longer the running backs coach. This is a tryout to be the head coach.
Yeah,
If you're not the head coach, then odds are we're going to bring in somebody who is going to want to bring in their guys.
but I feel like whatever coach, like there's still incredible value in keeping Aguano here if Aguano wants to be here because of the recruits he's gotten
I
and
agree.
just how established he is in Arizona. But
I think there are more pros to keeping Aguano on as the head coach.
I would agree with that.
Than letting him go and bringing somebody in new. Obviously, there are a lot of good names. But I think Aguano, if you really want to build the program, like start from the bottom, where this team hasn't been since the Frank Kush era of Arizona State football, let him try it. Give him 3-4 years. I had a buddy of mine ask me about, and you can take a shot, but like Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman, this guy needs to be gone after a year, 2 years, couple games. Oh, yeah, he lost to Marshall. Oh, whatever. There's a reason that Notre Dame, Alabama, like Ohio State, all of these teams are so damn good every year. It's because they let their guys have the ability and they put them on a leash to go build programs, right? They have a little bit of leeway. So when they fuck up, they're not concerned that they're going to get fired the next fucking week or
Yeah.
at the end of the year if things don't go right. It takes time to build a college football program up to what some of these collegiate programs are. Now you look for example, taking the NFL route, look at the Cleveland Browns. How many head coaches have they had in the last 20 years?
More than I can count.
There's a reason why they're not a dominant football program. It's because they just, this didn't work out. Try again. Like, the teams that are consistent always are teams that usually have had a head coach that are like, that's been there for a while. Even the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Mike Tomlin, that team hasn't been like a dominant playoff team since early in Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown's like career. But they're 8-8 every year, or they're above 500 every year.
Mm-hmm.
Most teams can't say that. Mike Tomlin's got Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett right now. And that team probably going to go 500 because Mike Tomlin's a good coach and he's built a program there.
They also have a good defense.
They also have a good defense.
They've always had a good defense, and that's about culture.
But exactly, if you are real, if Ray is real about trying to get this thing right, which I feel like this is his last chance. If you fuck up this next head coach at football, you probably don't get another chance. At least from my perspective, regardless of what you've done in other sports. Let Aguano build. Tell Mike, look, give him 3 years. Give him 3 years. If we're still where we're at, you can put the blame on me, and I'll take it. But if you're going to be all in, you might as well be all in on a guy that is got a connection to recruits like you talked about. B, is passionate as all hell about this football program. And C, like, he wants people to come here.
It's deflating. I completely agree with what you're saying. It's deflating, restarting over and over again.
Yeah.
This doesn't just happen. You don't just...
It's not overnight.
No, you don't just build a culture because you're a passionate coach. You build a culture because you know what works and what doesn't, and you've set a standard and a precedent here that recruits coming into this school and transfers coming into the school know that this is the vibe as soon as they walk into the locker room. You walk in the locker room at ASU now, and you're like, what am I tapping? What do we care about?
Yeah.
What do we like? Do we want to win? I can't tell.
And you could tell immediately bringing back Sun Devil Walk.
Yeah.
That was announced a couple days before kickoff.
Mm.
This man was the interim head coach for 48 hours, and he's already trying to do something. He is already, first week as an interim head coach, this man has got 1,000,005 different responsibilities, part of which is trying to go beat a top 15 team in the nation at home on Saturday. Okay. Part of building the program, recruiting. He says he wants to recruit local guys. He doubles down on that. Goes out to a Chandler Saguaro High School game. Goes out to a second high school football game.
160-person dinner.
Yeah, with coaches and family and everybody, and they don't talk football at all. For 45, I believe he said 45 minutes. Like, it's just about building a culture. And that has been part of the issue with the fans, with the winning, with the leaving, with everything. Like, we talked a little bit about this over the weekend. Like, Syracuse doesn't necessarily, they're not known for having a prestigious football team or sports at all. But there's a little bit of a culture there.
Hey, now.
Okay, basketball,
don't disrespect
whatever.
Lacrosse.
Okay, my bad.
Winningest lacrosse program.
But there is
in
a
the
culture
country.
there.
I thought we said sports.
Yeah.
There's a culture there.
What did you
right?
say?
What'd you say?
He hates lacrosse, so it's probably what he had something
But
to do
right,
with.
there's a culture there at Syracuse.
I love ASU lacrosse.
Yeah, I mean,
Somewhat.
football is tough, but Babers is a guy, like their head coach, Babers is a guy that, like, guys seem to like playing for.
Yeah.
And basketball is different because Jim Boeheim's 80
But let's
years old.
not talk about what the players want. Let's talk about the fan base, the culture around the fan base.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
The people show up.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things.
Why don't people
But,
show up here? And that's what
that's
ASU needs to figure out.
That's a whole other, I could do a whole fucking podcast on that conversation. That's a whole other thing that might be bigger than the university, but and why Syracuse? Like, Syracuse, what the fuck else are you going to do in Syracuse, New York?
Well, that's a lot of, like, prominent college football places. There's nothing else to do but watch college football. So you're going to leave and then you're going to go home. Like, not go to the bars that are across the street.
Tempe is just it's a college town, but it's also surrounded by a metropolitan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like it's
exactly.
it's
there's a lot of
different
options.
animal.
If you're not at the top, then nobody wants to come.
But it's
watch
also
you.
there's different. There's all that. Even if you're just a football fan, there's another option. Like, it's a different animal.
God damn it, Joe.
Joe, I love it. I'm not gonna read it.
No.
But yeah, Rach in the comments made a great point of what you were making. Like, the mess wasn't made in a day; it won't be fixed in a day. Like, culture takes time to build.
Yeah. Aguano said it. You got to stack days.
Yeah,
Good things happen when you stack
This
base.
is like you look at like the history of just college football, and you look at like programs that used to be good and now aren't, or programs that were never good and now are. Like, it takes time to turn a program into a program, like into a program that people care about.
Yeah, Josh, the
You
answer
need
is
the right people.
a lot more complicated than that, because even when this team is competing for a Pac-12 title, the fan base is not fully
We
in
should
support.
spend time talking about this conversation
Yeah,
at some point.
we can. I think we can really dive in the off season. But my final point on this is, it's hard because of what the outside factors. We've talked about this at length. But I think just the biggest thing is you need to have confidence in yourself, which then will give confidence to the fans to support. But it's not just word of mouth. You need to win football games consistently and consistent seasons.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
And
like
that's not going to happen in 2 years.
you don't necessarily need the stadium to be full, right? But you need the people that come to stay. Like the student section left at halftime.
Win and they will come.
That's my that's part of my point. Like
But
you need the people who are there to care and to like care wholeheartedly. It doesn't necessarily need to be the entire central Arizona region. Like, it just needs to be the people who care.
Yeah, 100%. I'm 100% with you. I mean, again, we'll talk about it, I think, at length. That's definitely a topic that we can dive into for a solid 45 minutes to an hour by itself.
Which you'd need a comfy chair for.
Yeah, you need a very comfy chair for, which you can get one at morefurniture.com. You can check out. Damn! Just slammed it home. You guys obviously see the new studio is not just here, but Studio A as well. The GOAT Studio. It's all thanks to More Furniture, guys. You guys can spruce up your home during More Furniture's fall sale. Again, at morefurniture.com. Build a culture, build a living room. Okay? With More Furniture. Let's talk about the Markham brothers.
Fucking, you got a marketing
I'm
degree?
telling you, he has really good one-liners.
Something like that.
But he also has very bad one-liners.
That sounds like a TV commercial. And it's coming from someone with an advertising degree.
There you go.
Props.
Man. Appreciate you. Let's talk about a couple guys that don't necessarily believe in the culture.
Oh, let's build a culture, but not with these guys.
Yeah, so the Markham brothers, if you noticed, were not dressed for Saturday's game against Utah. And in large part, that is because, quote unquote, personal issues, which we know now as they're having a tough time dealing with the coaching change. Now, whether that means they're looking to transfer, whether they're not sure if they want to come back, given the fact that they have only played in 3 games, they can still technically use this season as a redshirt year. So there's a lot on the table for them. Right now, Aguano says that he's keeping the guys away. He's keeping the brothers away from the program until they decide what they want to do. Which for me, once you've removed yourself from the program, coming back is not really an option. Especially when we talked about the defensive backs like Bentley, like Isaiah Johnson, that had just solid games. They were 2 of the best guys out there all night. So what do you guys think just about the way that the brothers have kind of handled the situation?
I don't know. I don't want to speak for them and what their situation is, because it could be a lot different than what the public is perceiving it. From my understanding, the public and media is perceiving it as they don't want to play for Shaun Aguano and they don't have faith, blah, blah, blah. And it could be true, but it also could be far from the truth. They could have had a really strong connection with Herm. They also could have just, they might have a lot of shit going on. You just don't know. So I don't want to speak on how they've handled it. I will say it's really unfortunate because Keon was really coming into his own, especially seeing from what happened last year against Washington when he was getting picked on a ton because of injuries and he had to play. And he just started at corner for the first time, and he really handled it well. And ever since then, he's really made strides. Same with K1. I mean, they've both been really good. They both made huge strides from what they have been in the past, and especially this year, you really need them a lot. Having secondary depth is one of the biggest things to have in college football because either there are mismatches everywhere, or it's the hardest position to play in football. So you're going to need to rotate. My biggest thing is just it sucks that this was the position that was taken away.
Yeah, I mean, these are 2 guys who were recruited by Antonio Pierce. Like, Herm was kind of the last part of that era of coaches and stuff. So, I mean, that was probably hard for him. I'm always going to be kind of like players need to do what's in the best interest for them.
Yeah.
It is tough it becomes a little tougher when it's like, okay, you started a season. Like I was like growing up, like how I was raised, like once you start something, you don't quit it. So like even if you're going to transfer after the season, like you finish the season,
Which
out
probably a few guys will.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I mean, not everyone. Like it's not like everyone fucking hated Herm. Like there was people that, I mean, we're here for a reason.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is a little tough to see if it is for this reason. Like they're not happy with the coaching change. Like it's a little tough to swallow for me personally, admittedly. But like, it kind of is what it is. Like I am glad that Aguano is like, I feel like keeping them away from the team if they're not completely bought in is the right call.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just. There's nothing you can really do about it. Like this is very coach speak, but like you need to just kind of focus on the guys in the locker room, the guys that want to be here.
Yeah.
And like we said, Bethley and Johnson, like they played amazing. Like there are other pieces on this defense. Obviously, this position group can't really afford to take a hit like this, but there's guys that can step up. So it kind of is what it is. I mean, it's tough, but.
Bethley was great, which is huge because you replace the safety
Yeah.
position with K1. Like that's very big.
Yeah.
But it does scare me a little bit when it comes to just corner depth in general. So,
Yeah. She's TV in the chat saying, just got out of class quick though. I think if we were to move from Aguano, which they don't want, ASU shouldn't be fixated on the celebrity names such as an Urban Meyer, Primetime, or a coach like Dillingham.
Yeah. Urban Meyer's never happening.
Hold on
That's
a
for
second.
damn sure.
No, Urban Meyer is guaranteed.
Are we throwing?
I'm not throwing Kenny
Are
Dillingham.
we throwing Kenny Dillingham in the celebrity coach?
No,
grade?
he's saying not Urban Meyer or Primetime.
Oh,
Get
a
a coach
like
Dillingham.
Dillingham.
My guy.
Yeah.
I had.
Or girl, I have no idea.
Yeah, I guess I don't know who it
I
is.
had.
He done been saying.
I had not done been
Done
saying.
have been
How do
saying.
you, has it, I done had been saying, or I had done been
It
saying?
changes,
Switch it up.
Don't have
Yeah,
been saying.
Dillingham is my number one guy. We're gonna come out with some videos that will be behind the paywall. So subscribe to PHNX. Go phnx.com, get your membership. But I've completely agreed. I don't want
Above
noise.
Aguano? Is that above Aguano? Like he's your number one guy above keeping Aguano?
It just depends.
Yeah, fair
you have to wait to see if he can win with his roster. If you don't beat U of A, I don't want to.
And I kind of want to see what he can do recruiting wise.
Yeah.
Like if he gets some recruits, which one more point on this before we move on, because we are running a little long, is the game against Utah. They had the most like sideline, like visitors, like recruits, I guess, that they've had in years.
Oh, good. Well, good and bad. Obviously, not the product you want to see on the field. Kind of expected, but also awesome because that's something that obviously is Aguano's doing.
And Leon Marchand was there. So winning was in the, maybe he just took all the winning
He
out
took
of the
all
year.
the winning out of the year.
Which is
100%.
fine. He can go win an Olympic gold.
Yeah.
He exploded today again, by the way.
Duh.
He exploded?
Yeah.
I hate when people explode. Okay, man.
All right.
Let's talk about DraftKings for a second because there's some Monday Night Football that you guys
You
can
know they
bet
call
on.
him Super Cooper? I don't know who they
Kupp?
are, but I
No,
just
Cooper Rush.
That makes
Super
more sense.
Cooper?
Yeah.
I know. Why?
Super
That's what I just got.
That's like a real,
I just got
like-
a push notification that said Super Cooper versus Danny Dimes. I'm like,
Wow. Okay. Yeah. New customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win and get
including
$200
the Dallas Cowboys.
in free bets if they
And the
do
New
on
York
DraftKings
Giants.
Sportsbook. If that's not enough, everyone can boost their winnings with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Right now, for every leg you add, you can boost your winnings up to 100% with payouts bigger than ever. Why bet on football anywhere else? To make things even sweeter, you can throw down on stepped up same game parlays once per game day all season long. It's simple. Download DraftKings Sportsbook. Use promo code PHNX. That's promo code PHNX on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for more details. Guys, what do you like for tonight's Monday night game?
Just betting on it to make this what's probably going to be a fucking miserable game to watch. More
It can't be
interesting.
any more miserable than last night's
That's true. But we
Yes,
are
it
watching
can.
Daniel Dimes versus
10 to
Cooper Kupp.
11.
Yeah,
that game was garbage.
It's going to be pretty
from
tough.
6-3.
Yeah,
Or 5-3.
or like not 10-6 or whatever that wild card or that Bills Jags playoff game was a
Yeah.
few years ago.
There's just more exciting players on this
I
team.
obviously love the under 39.5.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, they're two awful quarterbacks. Also, you know how I call him Daniel S. Dimes, and we found out his middle name actually starts with an S.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but his name is now Daniel Scooter Dimes or
I think it was Steven.
Scootin. Because he be scooting. I'm taking his over at 25.5 rushing yards.
Over
And
25.
Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown.
I like
it's
Cooper
actually
Rush's
Scooter.
over.
That's
Is it?
boosted
No,
on
it's-
DraftKings,
yeah.
by the way.
That's
Saquon.
where I was getting.
Oh,
Right
I'm
now-
just stealing
there
all
was-
your freaking
I mean, there
DraftKings.
was the boost for just a touchdown.
No, it's not that. Max
Oh.
lied to us.
No, but there was one.
No,
Max lied to us.
no,
I
it's
didn't.
there, but I don't think it. Like,
So what?
yeah.
This is what it is. Right now on DraftKings in Arizona, you can get plus 100 odds, which was boosted from minus 250 on either Zeke or Saquon to score a touchdown in tonight's game. Plus 100, maximum $50 bet, obviously. But I threw
bet
50
one
on.
plus touchdown to be scored boosted from minus 2,000 to plus 100.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
didn't get
was
that.
trying to, and I couldn't do it. So
Oh, I did.
okay, well, everybody
$25,
check.
$150.
Everybody open your DraftKings Sportsbook
Yeah,
app because check.
Opt in.
Hopefully free $25.
Yeah.
This could get ugly.
Look, the same game parlay that I haven't actually put any money on right now, just to be transparent. But there is one that I really do like. I was messing with the odds earlier today. Saquon anytime touchdown. Tony Pollard anytime touchdown.
I don't know if there's going to be that many touchdowns in the game. I
I
think we're
think-
going to get one.
I like Saquon
if it's gonna happen,
over
it's probably
64 and a
from the running
half,
backs,
which
though.
is an alternate rush yards, and Tony Pollard over at 34 and a half. That's plus 750 without the stepped up same game parlay. I think Tony Pollard is better than Zeke. I think Saquon gets in the end zone easy. And
How many rush yards do you need from Tony Pollard?
34 and a half,
How many rush yards do you need from Saquon?
64 and a half.
Okay, the touchdowns is scary, but I don't hate it.
Hey, get scared. Okay. Boo. Scared you. There you go. Why not? Let's talk about the early expectations for this week's game.
No.
Yeah, just a little bit.
25 and a half.
25 and a half.
Yes.
Yes,
about right.
what?
It's about right.
You said they cover.
I think so.
This
I think they lose by 24.
could be. I don't know what to expect, to be honest. Like, this could get really bad.
I
This
don't
could
have
end
any
up-
expectations until I
They give me, yeah.
yeah.
This could end up being like a 50-7 game.
Wow.
I don't know. It depends on if they run. It really, like, I just don't know what to expect from the play calling this week, and that's really the biggest issue for me. But I don't
I
know
would
if
be
this
shocked
defense is
if
going
they
to have much.
if
for the
they have a
offense.
less effective run game.
I mean, it's kind of hard to have a less effective than negative 6 yards or
That's why,
whatever. It is.
6 yards.
Well, it ended
6
up being
yards.
6. It was -1, I think, or -5 or something.
I think they had
It was
Negative
negative
half.
17 after the end of the first quarter.
This week we shocked the world when consistent. You know, I don't know about that one anymore.
That's about all of our expectations. Right.
Eric Gentry says he expects a good game.
You texted him?
I texted him. He texts back, and he wishes everybody well. So everybody at PHNX.
Thank you,
well.
Eric Gentry.
But he says he expects it to be a good game. I disagree, and I think he's
That's
full
just
of
him being a
shit.
kind guy.
I think he knows it's going to be a slaughter, or it's set up to be a slaughter. And I mean, obviously, he's one of the best linebackers in the country. He's probably the best linebacker in the conference. I think he is going to have.
Is he growing? He looked taller.
Do people grow after being 6'8"?
Giannis did.
He's not Giannis Antetokounmpo, bro.
He's Eric Gentry.
Is that crazy? Is that bigger than? Like, is that bigger and better? Would you rather be?
Yeah,
Eric
let's
Gentry?
set up a Sun Devil bingo, Josh. I'm down.
Totally random. Totally random.
No,
Emory
we're
Jones
talking about
overthrows a
expectations,
receiver.
and we're talking about expectations to get blown out. That's not random. Set up a Sun Devil bingo for
expectations.
for the game,
Emory Jones
not gonna
overthrows
be
a receiver
fun.
by 5 yards. Stamp.
dude. You just hate him now.
Defensive
That's crazy.
defensive back hits an opposing player out of bounds and gets a stupid 15-yard
It
penalty.
has to be a DB.
Stamp.
Yeah, it has to be
I'm
DB.
just saying DB because there was last
False
week.
start. Stamp. That's the free space.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh no. Oh no. How many times do they talk about?
Burrito Express.
No.
Not enough.
I was gonna say how many times do they talk about Aguano? I appreciate the alley oop there, but I wasn't ready for it. How many times do they mention Aguano's high school head coaching experience? That's a spot as well.
Stamp.
Herm. If they bring up Herm, that's a stamp. Give me two more.
Well,
Do they talk about Ray's conversation on the field
no.
with Herm?
Every time that they
Eastern Michigan. Stamp.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the investigation. Stamp.
There we
Boom.
go.
There's your bingo
Make the
card.
bingo board, Josh.
Set it up. I'm 100%
No, that's on
down to
us.
play.
We're making the bingo
We're making
board.
the bingo
Maybe
board.
just
Can we
copy it.
actually do that on Saturday?
Well, they have to make the bingo board because they can't all be the same. We just gave them the topics. They have to put them in place.
No.
Somebody make a bingo board.
Well, they can't all be the same or else everyone wins.
Well, yeah,
Or
they can
loses.
shuffle them around.
That's what.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's move on.
Okay. Well, Saturday, ASU's on the road. So we're not going to necessarily be doing anything too crazy except watching that game and then hitting you
In
guys
our beautiful new studio.
in our beautiful new studio with a beautiful post-game show.
And a beautiful Burrito Express in hand.
Exactly.
I'm gonna eat
That's
four.
how
I was
going
gonna
to
say that
That's how
earlier
we're
and
doing
I
Saturday.
forgot. Like, yeah, we're getting Burrito Express on the way. You're going to?
I literally already
Okay,
said that.
cool.
Yeah, 100%. And you guys should too. Not just
Should
Saturday.
we get like multiple ones?
We also have to
every
get
day.
stickers. I keep forgetting.
Yes.
Check out their new custom Burrito Express themed first responder shirt with all proceeds going to the Tunnels to Towers organization. They're only $25. And what are they going to give you, Shaun?
A burrito.
A free burrito.
A free
Thank
burrito.
you, Shane. Get them while they're hot. They're now available at all Burrito Express locations. Listen to me, guys.
I'm listening.
$25 shirt.
They honestly,
And a burrito!
It was a little.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not enough.
burritos. The burritos at Burrito Express, underrated
By who?
by everybody that's not buying a Burrito Express.
Okay, I was
burrito.
gonna say because I feel like they're
Burrito
properly rated
Express
by us.
is the equivalent of the sun in terms of importance.
And Totri says just things yet again.
That's what I'm saying. His one-liners, they slap sometimes.
Tell
Sometimes
me-
they're
he
terrible.
He is the Bo Nix of one-liners.
Yeah.
It's just if he gives you a good one, the next one's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Except for this weekend.
That one hurt, man.
This was a bad first half, good second half. Actually, it was bad 3/4, good. So does that mean he's going to have a...
For Totri one-liners?
A good 3/4 and
No.
then just throw it away in the second.
no, does that mean next week now he's going to have good 2/4 and then the next 3/4 are going to be bad because he already had one good quarter?
What was my good? Did I have a good
Thank you,
one-liner?
Josh Hunt!
No.
Not like toast.
Don't-
Toast
we're
is
not-
underrated.
no,
we're not talking about
Burritos
toast.
are properly rated by us.
Segment number 5 says...
TBD. Is there something fun or trending you guys want to talk about?
I didn't want to. How the fuck is Kansas not ranked yet?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Outrageous.
I saw
to me.
some... I think it was SI predict and Alabama and Kansas.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I saw that. A New Year's Six Bowl.
Yep.
That's, I mean,
No.
Big 12. What? Big 12 champ.
It would be the
Or
it
Big
would be
12
New
runner-up?
Year's Eve bowl, not a New Year's Six bowl. It wouldn't even be after that. It would be a New Year's Eve bowl.
Like Kansas is in the college football playoff.
No, I don't think so. Hold on. It was
Kansas-
December 31st.
Kansas presumably would be the
Yeah,
runner-up
that's-
in the Pac-12.
Oh yeah, that is.
Or in the Big 12.
Yeah.
But there's also other bowl games that day.
Because
Yeah,
they're saying that
Oh, it's the Sugar Bowl. Yeah.
yeah, the runner-up in
I love you, SI.
Kansas is
Right?
not going to the college football
Why not?
because Kansas is going to be the runner-up in the Big 12 is what they're assuming. Right? Because they think Oklahoma State's going to win it.
No, they're saying Kansas would meet Alabama
they just-
in the Sugar Bowl.
But they wouldn't win the. They wouldn't.
No,
beat
that
the-
would
Oh,
that would be
assuming that they won
a conference
the
football
conference.
playoff.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're assuming
Oh,
that Kansas
I thought they were
wins that
saying.
conference.
I thought they were saying Alabama, like Georgia wins the conference.
You know
Kansas
what?
doesn't.
You know what we need to call them? Yaction. They are the best team. Yak. It's insane.
Syracuse 25 in the coaches poll,
Okay.
but not in the AP poll yet.
Look.
Who asked?
Wow.
Nobody.
Well, if you guys want to go watch any of these games, which highly recommend, especially when ASU gets
Fucking-
back to
We'll go
town.
Kansas in 1 second.
Notre
Not
Dame finally didn't get any fucking votes.
Okay. Fuck you. ASU
Why take it so personally?
back
bro?
in town
Yeah, bro.
next week.
like it's your whole
against
personality.
Ranked Washington. Got a day game. 1 in
Bro,
the
me
afternoon
up.
kickoff. Get your tickets right now. I don't want to hear anybody complain because it's hot outside because everybody was complaining that
Is
it's a late
Washington gonna get back
kickoff.
to the college football
Now
playoff?
you got an early kickoff.
He's gonna
So-
be such a good dad.
Go get your tickets.
Well, I don't know if a good dad, but
Who's
he's gonna
gonna
be
be a
really
good
good
dad?
at one of these because you're talking to a kid like you're disciplined. Don't come out here
Hey.
saying your cereal's soggy. I poured it at the same time I did last time.
guys. Washington might make the college football playoff.
Go get your tickets. Save up to 60% on
You look
tickets
at
when
their
you buy
schedule?
tickets last
On
minute
purpose.
on game time. It's great for you procrastinators
Buy it to
out
a
there.
Washington game
The
if you
best
want.
way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description, guys. If you're going to buy tickets for any games, shows, concerts, whatever, use the Game Time app. Come here and use the link in the description. Now you can finish your thought.
Is Washington going to make the college
Are you
football
looking at
playoff?
their schedule?
No,
Yeah.
they're not.
They play UCLA, ASU, Arizona, Cal, Oregon State,
Kale.
Oregon, Colorado State, or Colorado, excuse me, Washington State.
No, they'll lose one of those.
The Oregon is the hardest game.
Do you
obviously.
forget?
No, Washington State.
Do
And
you
then they have to play the.
Do you forget? The Pac-12 cannibalized themselves. If they go undefeated, they're losing in the Pac-12 championship.
I'm just saying, them going undefeated is not unrealistic. They have Oregon's going to be a tough game, but it's
but
it's-
they don't play USC,
that's what I'm saying.
and they're going to play them in
They
the
will
that-
eventually play
and
that.
they would lose to them.
Maybe.
It's just
I'm
what
just saying.
happens.
I'm just saying.
The Pac-12 cannibalizes themselves, folks.
Well, if Oregon or USC also might be undefeated, like it might be for a spot in the college football playoff. I'm just saying, if you get them to the Pac-12 championship, anything can happen. Washington Michael Penix in the college football playoff would be pretty electric. They'd get blown out by Georgia, but it is what it is.
If you
enjoy the content today. Give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Shane at Shane Deep. You can follow Shaun DePaz at Shaun_DePaz.
Hey, just emitting big PHNX energy as always.
There we go. We will be back with an audio episode tomorrow, which is Tuesday. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in and listening. For now, though, peace.